YouTube. What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? What's up, everybody? Let me switch my mic out. Give me 1 second. I got my earbuds in, so let me do these. These are better when I go live. Hang on 1 second, y'all. Give me a second. Let me get a music interlude while I'm getting myself together. So I had hit the live button, but I went back on my third. I went live on my third channel. Like I have a third channel, um, but I don't really utilize it very often. So I was like, why is my? I mean, I was at zero for like 4 minutes. I was like, what in the world is going on? I mean, I know it's my backup channel, but my God, today at least I should have one or two people. But that's what it was. It was my third channel, so I didn't hit the right one because I used the same avatar for both my second backup and my third backup. So hang on, y'all. Give me 1 second. I'm on my phone, so I'm going to have to switch to my laptop here in a second because I'm going to have to share my screen here shortly. Where is that commercial? Oh, here we go. Hold on. All right, thank you so much for patiently waiting, y'all. I appreciate that. Shout out to everybody out there. Please hit the like button as you enter. Please hit that like button as you enter. Let's go ahead and move away from the palace and let's fly through the purple sky. Now, I had this lined up the way I wanted it to, and it had switched back. I had it in a perfect circle. Now, why did it switch back? This looks different on my phone. You know, they cram so much stuff on a little ass segment when it's on your phone. Like, it's so hard to use StreamYard when. Anyways, hit the like button as y'all enter. I just wanted to touch base with y'all about, and it's been a minute since I've did a Umar sector live, but I wanted to talk about just what I've seen since I've been flying around the Umar space the last few days. So I've been trying to get caught up on some old tea and stuff in terms of what's been going on, yada, yada, yada. See about what I've been missing out on, or if I've been missing out at all. So, let me switch that because that's going to probably be too low. So I guess DJ Drama is back. DJ Drama did a live after a year and a half of hiding in his bunker. So now he's officially back, I guess. I guess he did a welcome back live for himself or something like that. But he came back, I guess, with some bullshit. I don't even know what his page is called, nor do I care. He is, he's one of those content creators that will really put you to sleep. Like, and he's always been like this big hater in the Umar sector. Like, he's one of those people who sat back and like hated on other people for being able to be content creators and be able to be entertaining and be able to, you know, uh, you entertain the masses, but he's never been able to do that. So he just sat back on the sidelines and hated on folks. Um, and it just goes to show that not everybody is meant to be a content creator. Not everybody has the skill set to be able to speak to people. I mean, I don't even consider myself a person that has that talent. I mean, but he's one of the ones that should have just stayed his ass in the chat. He should have stayed his ass in the chat, but he wanted to get acceptance from the Umar sector and, a certain group of people. And, he was trying to gain acceptance from them. So he did a lot of fuck shit in regards to his job. And he lost his job as a result for trying to just get approval and acceptance. And that's unfortunate for him, but it's his own damn fault for doing it. He should have no business trying to dox people on his work with his work resources. I've seen Photon's been going live heavy talking about this drama stuff. Uh, the AAS, I mean the AFW are in his lives pretty thick, pretty thick. I seen Rev G's over there, and then antis over there. I pretty much don't get in their way. Like, I don't do lives like really coming after them or really trying to drag them or anything like that. Like, I know what they've done. I know what they're capable of doing. I know um, what they've done to other people. So I'm good on all of that. But I just watch from afar when it comes to them. Now she was trying to, I guess the AFW are trying to get their mission, or what they're trying to do right now is to talk about the whole and celebrate this whole D. Durrell and his fall from grace, and like celebrate the man going, like potentially going to jail. And I think that is so fucked up to do. Like, just because you have some type of a issue with him online, one, you've never even met the man. You don't even know the man in real life. You never met his family. You don't know who his wife is. You don't know who his kids are. So how can you say that you dislike somebody as someone you don't even know? How can you hate someone you don't even know? Like, to that extent where you are celebrating them going to jail. I just never would wish like jail on anybody. I wouldn't. Even my worst op on here, I wouldn't. It's not that serious for me. I've never met anybody off from YouTube, so it's not that serious to me to wish jail time on them. And I can't stand drama, but I mean, I'm not going to wish jail time on them. But see, that's the part where I just don't get the infatuation with wanting to see people like suffer and like be in jail. Like, okay, so say for instance, any of these people do go to jail, then what? At that point, what do you do then? Do you go pick some new people to go after or to target, or to try to see if you can get them to go to jail? Like, what is it? Like, what's the end goal? So I mean, I don't delight in anybody's going to jail for a if it's not murder, or something like that, or if it's not anything to do with children, then why are you celebrating that? Like, I don't understand that. But that's just me, to each their own, I guess. But I just don't revel in delight in people, and just knowing somebody is going to jail, especially when another black person, like, why are you so excited about hearing, or potentially another black person going to jail, another black man going to jail? Why wouldn't you rally against that? And if you seen he was messing up along the way, or if you say that you knew that, why wouldn't you advise him, or why wouldn't you reach out to him, from a level of empathy, instead of trying to be out to get that person? I don't understand it. I don't get that. How can you say that you are for the community when you are so happy when you see somebody that has been successful in your own black community, um, being brought down? Now, I will do that to a certain extent, but there is a certain extent to where I stop. I do have a limit, and that comes to, with jail time and all that. Like, that's a little too much. One, that part is not any of my business. I know if the shoe was on the other foot, I wouldn't want everybody on here to be in my business when it comes to that. So I'm just not going, I wouldn't make that, highlight that for someone else. I would just, move on to other topics. There's plenty of other things to be talked about. But speaking of that, now there is this um, very ugly, gorilla faced, gay, sissy man in the B sector that is obsessed with me and is completely jealous of me because I have the better foundation uh, physically than they do. So they're just jealous on me simply because of that. But this person who pretends to be trans online when they're really just a very feminine gay man, and that's what makes sense, is to lie to people online to say that they're trans because their voice being that high pitched, it makes sense for them to just say that they're trans online. But I know that's a science experiment for them. But anyway, so this person was rallying for the AFW at one point and was had them on their show and whatnot, to bash me a couple of times as well. To come out with some of those old lies that they were telling about me. About the Craigslist stuff and saying that I had showed pictures of my butt naked self when one proof that those were butt naked pictures of me. How do you prove that if there's not a face attached? And if you've seen those pictures, you would know that those complexions don't they're not the same. Lennon Honor is light skin. I'm not. I'm brown skin. So they just, they would peddle these like lies that just are not logical. They don't make sense. So he, the confused transgendered gay sissy man, gave them an outlet to try to bash, certain people that they were coming at. And where was I going with that? And I noticed on their last live that they did there was a change in their feelings, I guess, towards the AFW now. So they were being very critical of the AFW now. Now they're being very critical of the AFW. And I wonder if it's because King Roman News, and I'm actually going to switch to my main page because I can't speak about this without going into beef sector commentary because I'm trying to keep it Umar sector separate. But I wonder if it's because King Roman News mentioned AFW, or as says AAG. He said AAG, not AAS, but I thought that was funny. But so now that King Roman News is, you know, citing them and referring to them, now all of a sudden you have critiques for the AFW because you Chimples, you said that how are you going to the level of obsession of getting people and acting as if your hands are clean. Now, this is Chimples talking about the AFW, as if your hands are clean with you've done horrible stuff to other people as well. That is what Chimples said himself on his live, referring to the AFW. When I thought the AFW was your pride and joy. Oh, they were your pride and joy when you were the only one talking to them. Now that King Roman News is talking to them or shouting them out or referring to them, now all of a sudden, now you have more, you're a little bit more harsh with your critiques on them. Yeah, I see how you are, you fake ass bitch. But according to Chimples says How are you going to call out other people's wrongs when you've done so many wrongs to other people? That's what Chimple said about the AFW. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Chimples, a gay sissy man who is even too gay for the gay community because gay men aren't attracted to that shit. They're not attracted to that level of femininity. So, he can't get accepted nowhere. So now, all of a sudden, now that King Roman News, a bigger content creator that's in the beef sector, is mentioning them, now all of a sudden, now his commentary has changed on how he views the AFW. My God, today, what a flip flopping ass bitch with your shake and go flip flopping ass wig. Oh God, this person is such a weirdo. But real quick, that's what I just wanted to speak on, just about just the flip flop nature of that person. They're just such a weirdo. And anybody who like utilizes any of their information is a fool. But they were right in terms of the docs that they did on me about me living in Kentucky and my name being Damian Brown. They were right about that. And I've never been to the East Coast my entire life. I've never even left the state of Kentucky. These things are all true. I grew up poor in a housing project to a single mother. These things are all true. These are all very true. So Chimple's got the right docs information. I'm so glad that somebody else, now I can finally take a sigh of relief now that all my information's out, so I don't have to go around hiding anymore from everybody. So Chimple's went and put it all out, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. So yeah, where are my Kentuckians at? Are there any Kentuckians out there? Slander God, ain't you from Kentucky? Are you still pretending that you are in Wyoming? Are you still pretending you're in Wyoming? Because if you're in Kentucky and I'm from Kentucky and live in Kentucky, according to Chimple's docs, um, we should do a sector meetup in Kentucky. So what farm are you on, Slander God? Because I'm at the farm not too far from the trailer park, um, from the Dollar General around the street from the gas station. Because our town only got one gas station, and we gotta drive an hour to get to Walmart. But that's Kentucky for you. But yeah, all that Philadelphia shit. Me driving around Philadelphia and showing y'all Philadelphia when I was driving around. That was all AI back then, y'all. That was all AI. It was all AI. Before we even knew about AI, that was AI. Yeah, I never been to East Coast a day in my life. I've never even seen the East Coast. Never been anywhere. I think the biggest city I've been has been Louisville, Kentucky, maybe. That's the biggest city I've ever been. But I grew up poor. We grew up on food stamps, and the most we ever had was a pot of beans and some tap water to wash it down with. But yeah, I've been found out, y'all. So I'm so glad. It's a sigh of relief, really. It really is. But if y'all want to call me Damien, go right ahead, because that's the truth. Chimples ain't one to lie. Chimples ain't one to lie, and his information is always right. It's always right, ain't it? That's just like I was trying to tell Peace, dumbass. Does every text message that come out mean that it's true? And he was trying to make it and direct it towards him as if I would waste my time to produce a receipt on you. You're a nobody in the greater scheme of things. And I just strolled by his page earlier tonight and dropped off a little change for his polygrip, for his polygrip fund, because I could tell from him speaking for so long that his dentures were coming unhinged. So you could tell they were starting to drop. So I just dropped him a few coins so he could get some polygrip. Get the extra strength uh, one this time, P. Get the extra strength one. This man is so fucking old that he can't do an entire live without going on a water break. You know you fucking old when you gotta fucking take a break every 30 fucking minutes. Or is it that you're too old or you're taking crack breaks? Which one is it? It's one of the two. If it's not old age, it must be something crack related because you and your antics and your mania that you go into because you get way, 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 way too emotionally invested in this YouTube shit that ain't that big a deal. Like that man was so flustered on Slander Gods the other day. I thought we were gonna need a defibrillator for him. It was ridiculous. And Mikey didn't even do too much. Mikey wasn't even doing too much. So all of that deserved you trying to wish him to go to jail and you gonna dox him and putting your saying your email address, saying to send some people to send you his information. All of that because he called you a bitch ass nigga. All that energy. But this is one thing I do love is I loved how um some certain people like the Triggs and whatnot, they they came together like a cheerleader squad to protect their pride and joy, Mikey. Because when P was trying to make a point that didn't make any sense, trying to rewrite my God, my God, my God. I'm so sorry, y'all. My phone died. So sorry about that, y'all. So I had to switch to my laptop. So I'm sorry, y'all. My phone died. But thank you for sticking in there for me. I appreciate that. Where was I? Let me get my phone on the charger. Hold on one second. What was I talking about? I was talking about somebody who should have died 10 years ago. Who was that? Uh oh yeah. P the corpse, the Stephen chaser. So, anyways, I was over there contributing to his polygrip fund, dropped him off a few coins. And one, he didn't even say thank you. How ungrateful. How ungrateful. When it is what it is. But so um but this man to be 70 something years old and get himself so worked up over someone he's never met. Like Mikey didn't even say very much, and this man wants to do the absolute most. Like his mental health is really a cause of concern. He always does this, crashes out. I think that he should rename himself to P the Crash Out because he's always crashing out. Always has. Y'all remember back a few years ago when he crashed out, when he was calling all the women all types of bitches and gorilla bitches and all this? Remember when he did his famous crash out and he was people were horrified at the things he was saying, and then he came back a few months later and was like, I'm sorry guys, I'm sorry, will you take me back, will you take me back, after he got roasted and he got isolated and he got his ass spanked and handed to him. Then he came crawling back like a bitch ass nigga that he is. But what could you expect more from a bitch ass nigga than to do some bitch ass nigga shit and come crawling back? That's what bitch ass niggas do. So Mikey was not doing anything more than calling out the absolute truth. And you got in your fifis about it, and it is what the fuck it is, what it the fuck is. And now he's saying that I was lying about what caused that quote unquote racist rant that he likes to mention. Now, why would you bring that up over in the Umar sector? They already know about that history. So I just want to know, why do you want to talk about all this when we've already been through this as a sector? I've came to terms with what I said, and I apologize to everybody that felt like that they were hurt by my words. I issued apologies to many people. Actually issued written formal apologies as well. Written formal apologies to each person whose name I mentioned in that particular live. That's something a lot of people wouldn't do. But of course, I don't get credit for trying to do the right thing, though, do I? No, I don't. They'll leave that out. But it was I needed to do that anyways, because one, I was embarrassed as to not only embarrassed, it was wrong for me to say those things. So I already came to terms with that. I moved on, and I put that to bed. And I did and addressed how I needed to address that by offering complete empathy and being apologetic for my words. Because out of everything that I've done in this YouTube space, that is one of the most regretful things that I think that I've done. Because before anything else, I am a Black man in this country, in the United States. I'm a Black American. So it was wrong of me to do that. And let me remind you as to what my mindset was at that time. I was upset at the sector. And I was thinking in my head, I had been day drinking, and I was thinking, how do I get myself completely canceled out of the sector to force myself not to come back to the sector? Now, in a pro-Black space, the best way to do that is to say something that's not pro-Black. So that was my way of thinking at the time, was to try to force people to cancel me because I was that upset by
people not checking P for what he had said when I wasn't around. Because P did say that about my child. He did mention my child, and that's what made me mad at this sector, because he did spark that. He's not going to try to rewrite things and try to make it seem that he didn't. He was the origin of that particular rant that I went on. It was him. He started it. Now, what else? Oh yeah. I think that might be it. Yeah, that might be it. Not a lot's going on that I can think of other than that. Is there any other tea? Now I heard some stuff. I gotta get caught up on some Miss T Pre stuff. I heard that she's going back live again and doing some reviews, so I'll have to check that out. But I'm gonna be going live on my main channel, and I have some other stuff that I need to talk about in regards more related to the B sector. So, oh yeah, let me. I forgot one thing I meant to mention in regards to P the Stefan Chaser, P the Crash Out. I noticed the reason why he keeps chasing me from place to place is because he's trying to get content to go live on his channel. Because this is the first time I've been on his channel in like maybe a year, and I've went over there and I saw his most viewed lives are the ones where he's talking about me. So that is why he's doing all of this, is for numbers. He's doing all of this for numbers, because the other lives that he was getting 100 something. But when he started speaking about me, he quadrupled his numbers that he was getting. So now that all makes sense. And it all is coming together as to why he's doing it. An absolute clout chaser is what it is. And at 70-some years old, I would expect better. But this is a man who can't even get through a full live stream without taking breaks and crack breaks and whatever it is that he's doing. But I know the man is too old at 70-something years old to be doing the fuck shit he's doing. So embarrassing. I mean, come on. I mean, if I was you at your age, I would have just shot myself in the head a long time ago. Yeah, I just would have. I mean, you ain't leaving no legacy to nobody. That 1-bedroom apartment you renting, you can't pass that down to nobody. Who you gonna pass your rented 1-bedroom studio apartment down to? Nigga, get your old ass face out just get away. But he wants to try so fucking bad. It's so sad. It is so sad. Move the fuck on, you old ass bastard, you. Please, just move on. Stop talking about me. I'm not interested in you. All you do is bring up old shit, and I ain't going to ignite any new shit for you to talk about and obsess over. You ain't got no new content on me. So move the fuck on, bitch nigga. Keep sucking Sha Kim's nuts the way you have been. You know how you like them. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great night. Goodbye. I'm going to my main channel here once I take a break, because I'm getting up there in years. I ain't as old as P, but I feel like I need a break. I need a little break before I go on my main channel. So I'll be over there in like maybe 30 minutes. But shout out to everybody. Please hit the like button as you exit. Thank you guys. Bye. I wonder if I should close out with a song. Hold on, let me think of one. Learning to lean. I'm learning to lean on Jesus. I'm finding more powers than I've ever dreamed. I'm learning to lean on Jesus. The joy I can't explain fills my soul. Since the day I asked Jesus, my King, His blessed Holy Spirit is sleep. I don't know the rest of the words. Y'all have a good night. Bye, y'all.